Should I put it in?
Okay. I do. Ini kopi oke.
Your mic is on.
Oh iya.
Never give up, son. Just look how good Cassie has become. Mohammed, Mahatma, and Nelson. Not scared to be strong.
I mean, what if they say I'm no good? What if they say, get out of here, kid? You got no future.
Now you can run and just see it right. No, I'll never be no one in my whole life. All you could turn, see the weak, they're wrong. And get to keep on dancing all life long. My father said never give up, son. Just look what Amelia and John done. Oh, Rose and Teresa, they all won. Not scared to be strong. Now you can run and just see they right. No, I'll never be no one in my whole life. All you can turn, see the weak, they're wrong. And get to keep on dancing all life long. Yeah, you could be someone special. You've got pride in your brains and like lead in your veins. You'll go higher than they've ever gone. In you I see someone special. You've got fire in your eyes, and when you realize you'll go further than we've ever gone. Just turn
I
it
paid
on.
my intuition, I couldn't afford tuition. My funds was insufficient, it felt like I'm in prison. Until I realized I had to set my mind free. I was trusting statistics more than I trust me. Get a degree, good job, 401k. But I'm trying to turn K's to M's, what does it take? And maybe I could be the new Ali of music, probably. Instead of doing it just as a hobby like these boys told me to. I guess you either watch the show or you show and prove. Prove it to them or you prove it to yourself. But honestly, it's better if you do it for yourself. Never complacent till we hit the oasis. One life, don't waste it. Feel my heart racing. Success, I taste it. We on the verge of getting every single thing that we deserve.
Someone special. You've got fire in. You've got pride in your brains. You can break through those chains. You'll go higher than we've ever gone. Just turn it on. In you I see someone special. Don't go to war with yourself. Just turn it on. And you can't go wrong. paradise they couldn't capture. That bright infinity inside your eyes. 매일 밤 내게 날아가 꿈이란 것도 잊은 채 나 웃으며 너를 만나. Never ending forever, baby. You are my universe, and I just want to put you first. You are my universe, and you make my world light up inside. 어둠이 내게 흔들펴냈었지. 길어진 그림자 속에서. And they said that we can't be together because we come from different sides. You are my universe, and I just want to put you first. You are my universe, and you make my world light up inside. My universe, my universe, my universe. 나를 밝혀주는 건 너란 사랑으로 수놓아진 별. 내 우주에 넌 또 다른 세상을 만들어주는 걸. 너는 내 별이자 나의 호주니까. 지금의 시련도 결국엔 잠시니까. 너는 언제까지나 지금처럼 밝게만 빛나줘. 우리는 너를 따라 이긴 밤을 수놓아. 너와 함께 날아가. When I'm without you I'm crazy. 자 어서 내 손을 잡아. We are made of each other, baby. You are my universe, and I just want to put you first. You are my universe, and you make the world light up inside. My universe, my universe, my
Silencers imminent. Silencers imminent. Silencers imminent.
Good morning, Boston.
Recording in progress.
How's
Alright.
everyone doing today? So, welcome to yet another exciting Isaac Boston Hackathon. I'm so glad all of you could make it. This is the 10th year of the Isaac hackathon itself that goes on around the world in over 200 countries. And the 8th time that we are organizing it here in Boston. Well, when I mean here, I mean virtually. The second time for us really organizing this virtually, so we're very excited for this year. Uh, the hackathon itself has been amazing year on year, and Boston's proven itself to be a center of innovation. And I'm excited to see what all of you have in store for us today and tomorrow. Wanted to go over a few details of the hackathon before we get started. As part of this programming, we are going to have 2 days of fun, and we started now. We will have a few speakers come in and speak to us about the hackathon and kick it off. We'll have an opportunity for you to pitch. If you have teams, you can get started right away. Nothing's stopping you. If you don't have teams or you're looking for team members, we will open up the mic for you to come and pitch your project or to pitch yourself, and that way you can start forming teams as well. There is a Slack channel for you to communicate with each other as well as the organizers, and please make sure you do use that. There are some other resources as well that have been pinned on the Slack channel, so please take a look at them. There's a lot of guidance, a lot of support for you during your journey in these 2 days. All right. We also have mentor hours. We've got a few mentors here. I'll introduce them shortly. The mentors will be available at 1, 3, and 5 p.m. today, and then at 10 a.m. tomorrow on Zoom. At 8 p.m. we are going to have some live music by our favorite band here. So you will have some fun as well. At tomorrow at 12 p.m. you will stop hacking.
今処理 OK?
It will be the
今処理ですか OK?
it will be the end of the hackathon itself, and at 1 p.m. we will have the judges come and judge you for the Boston event. At 3:30 we'll have the winners announced.
これシェリーの Ask it already.
One quick thing logistically, if you can see my screen, just thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. So we'll get started. I'm going to briefly introduce to you what the ISAC Boston event is all about. And if you are here for something else, like PAX East or another gaming conference or something else, then you're on the wrong flight. This is the ISAC Boston event. I'm kidding. We have two exciting speakers here opening up the event. We have our sponsors introduce their product. Kintone is one of the products that is sponsoring our hackathon. Is a great product for you to use while you're hacking. We'll go over some event details and some of the hackathon rules, and then we'll let you loose. All right. So just introducing the hackathon itself, we are not alone. The ISAC hackathon, since its inception in 2012, has been steadily growing all over the world. In 2014, we realized the need for it in Boston, and also the fact that Boston can contribute in a very meaningful fashion to both the NASA ISAC hackathon and to the world itself. And as you can see here, the hackathon has continuously grown, and it keeps growing. So you're part of a global community, and they're all hacking right now. So it's something of something you can't imagine, that you've got 26,000, 30,000 people all around the world hacking along with us for a common goal, and the goal is to make the world a better place. We are here. This is Boston. So most of us, of course, the hackathon this year is virtual, so everyone's communicating using electrons. But this is where we are. This is Boston. I'd like to hand over the mic to Eriko. Eriko is the founder of the nonprofit Binnovative that has been organizing this hackathon since 2014. Over to you, Eriko.
All right, thank you so much. I was sitting next to Harish, by the way. So thank you, everybody, for attending this wonderful ISAC Boston 2021. So this is our eighth event to organize. I am Eriko, founder of Binnovative, which is NPO based in Boston, to empower community in Boston and Japan for fostering entrepreneurial mindset and a multicultural, and cross-cultural collaboration project. So I started Binnovative when I was studying MBA in Boston. Probably people in Boston know about Babson College is number one entrepreneurship education, whatever it is. So can you go next? So as being said, Binnovative been organizing this wonderful NASA Isaac event in Boston since 2014, which I started Binnovative in Boston. So over the years, until 2019, we've been having this event in location in Boston, such as CIC in Cambridge or Harvard or some other places. But since last year, because of the pandemic, NASA decided to do online. So I'm kind of sad I cannot see people in working on place, but it's good thing is I can see you guys in all over the world. So it's good thing we used to do it. So I think you're already enjoying this event in a Slack itself. So this year, I mean, over the years, our event being supported by the Consul General of Japan in Boston. This is awesome thing. So as usual, we are welcome, Consul General of Japan in Boston, which is Mr. Ohmori this year, to kick off event. And also, you just, hello. Okay, so, and then let me introduce Onoda-san anyway, so. Let me introduce Onoda-san. Okay, and also we do have opening speech from next screen, please. Okay, so we have an opening speech from director of JAXA US. So she's located in DC, but I think everybody know about JAXA is a Japanese space agency. She's head of the JAXA US. So she also providing the wonderful opening message to us. So let's open up this event by the Mr. Ohmori first.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2021 International Space Up Challenge, or Hackathon. This event has been supported by the Japanese Consulate in Boston. We are very proud of our commitment to Hackathon as a precious opportunity of intellectual exchange in Boston, the center of science and innovation. I'd like to give special thanks to Binnovative for hosting and creating such an environment for strengthening Japan-US collaborations. I believe today's participants come from various backgrounds. You are talented with prominent knowledge and flexible thinking. You will lead us to some of the answers addressing the most pressing global issues. Furthermore, I want to thank students from ZKI Learning Lab for attending. I believe this experience will be a big first step for you in starting to think about global issues and what key roles you can play in the future of the innovation field. These coming 2 days should be intense and exciting. and look forward to seeing you meet new challenges, and I hope this hackathon will inspire further collaboration between the United States and Japan. I'd like to conclude by wishing the best of luck to all of the impressive creative participants here today. We are coming together to inform this groundbreaking Boston team. Thank you.
Good morning, challengers. My name is Masami Onoda, and I'm the director of the Washington D.C. office of JAXA, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. I'm so happy to be one of the final judges for this year's NASA International Space Apps Challenge in Boston, and I would like to thank the organizers, Binnovative, for this great opportunity. As you may know, JAXA is the core space agency of Japan, and we work with NASA in all areas in space, including space and earth science, the International Space Station, and the upcoming Moon to Mars program, Artemis. So this is a great place for you to start your first step into the path to working with us in these programs. Also, as we hope to foster entrepreneurship among the next generation in Japan, I'm so proud to see that some young Japanese teams have joined this challenge. So I'm really looking forward to seeing your results in the final judging tomorrow. And I also look forward to working with you in the future in space. Thank you and have fun.
What an amazing way to start the day today. We've heard from our speakers, and this is the kind of encouragement that keeps us as organizers going, and the participation from you and the quality of submissions we have year on year is what keeps us coming back and doing this year on year. So I hope to see a lot of exciting things tomorrow. So all the best. I'm going to go over a few details of the hackathon in these next coming slides, and then we'll go into some of the hackathon logistics. Right. First, I would also like to introduce our sponsors, without which this hackathon would just not have been possible. So we have, of course, the Consul General of Japan in Boston. The consulate has been amazing in supporting us since the inception of the hackathon itself, and have been a steadfast supporter of us ever since. We also have Zetokai, the learning lab in Japan, who have been supporters of this hackathon, and we're pleased to have them yet again. We also have Ogawa Coffee, and if you're in Boston, please check them out. They're an amazing coffee shop there, and also have been great supporters of the hackathon. Next we have Toyota. Toyota has been one of our original sponsors as well since the inception of the hackathon, and who doesn't know Toyota? They need no introduction. And finally we have Kintone. Kintone is a great no-code, low-code tool for you to use in order to get to your hackathon hacking very quickly. And they have been an amazing sponsor of ours as well for the past few years. So I would like to, at this point, hand over the mic to Mr. Genji Fujimori. Genji is joining us from Kintone, and he will go through a few minutes of talking about the actual Kintone product and how you can use it for the hackathon itself. So over to you, Genji.
Thank you. Let me just get that fast. And I'm thinking, oh, sorry, wrong screen. Is this correct screen? All right, thank you. And thank you so much for the introduction. And yes, good morning, Boston. It is wrapping up to be a late evening here in Tokyo, but I'm sure you guys are all energetic and ready to start hacking for this wonderful NASA hackathon. And yeah, I'll be giving a very similar, just the same presentation as before, but just introducing Kintone and why you should be using Kintone for your web database for your hackathon project. Just kind of 4 things I want to go over. What is Kintone, how to use Kintone, hackathon use cases, and benefits of hacking with Kintone. So yes, Kintone is a cloud platform that creates web databases ridiculously quickly and easily. Traditional databases, I'm sure for those who are familiar with SQL or those familiar with this whole limited UI experience for building a database for an application, you need high level of understanding, you need servers constantly running and being maintained, you need a high level of technical skills, as well as you need to know what you'll be building before you start. You can't be modifying it very easily once you build it and set it up. Unlike that, Kintone is a pretty simple. Building a Kintone database requires no code. It's drag and drop, intuitive UI, no server to set up. We manage all that on our end. So from your perspective, you're just logging into your Kintone account, inviting your team members in to create, and everyone make their own individual accounts to access the same set of data and same set of tools. Couple use cases. We're very fortunate. NASA uses Kintone for their inventory management, their invoicing, purchasing, and resource planning. All the stuff that required for any major organizations to get job done, but Kintone is there to simplify these tasks so they could focus on what they do best, exploring the edges of this universe and contributing to scientific knowledge. Kind of repeating myself here, but there's nothing to install for Kintone. It's all on the web. So you open up a Chrome tab, you're there. You'll be submitting a forum and to create your Kintone subdomain, and you get an email with the confirmation link. You click that, you log in, you're all good. Accessing Kintone database data, there's kind of 2 options, web browser, intuitive UI experience, or REST API to connect it with your application. You'll be logging in, you'll be creating a unique subdomain. So this red text here, your subdomain, that will be specifically what you have created, kind of like a username. .kintone.com, and there you'll be logging in. This is where you'll create databases, view, add, edit records, so your data points, and you can update database schema as your project evolves naturally over the next 2 days. When you're accessing it with the REST API, you could hit it with a curl command from your application or from your computer, access the particular data app, and you'll get a response with on a JSON format. So how might you use Kintone in a hackathon? We see most developers using Kintone for storing incoming data or storing data that they'll be accessing through the application to display. So all that management side of the information will be done on Kintone. One great hackathon use case that we saw was this adorable flower pot robot that moves to provide the maximum sunlight for this plant here, which is using an IoT device to determine temperature, light, and humidity. All that data is collected and outputted to Kintone, where it's easily accessible for the developers to see, for here particularly, a light chart. So as they have each data point for capturing the light on a daytime will be displayed on Kintone. It's all intuitive. You don't have to connect to the physical device. You just have to log into Kintone account to see. For hackathon, second use case we saw that is a point of sale device. So you have the developers have developed a tongue twister there, mobile application interface, very intuitive for their particular needs. Maybe it's collecting data for an earthquake site, or in this case, a warehouse. All that's intuitive, designed for the end user. Ultimately, the Kintones has the data of the input and output for the all the mobile interfaces, and it could easily generate charts that management can see, a layer above, so to speak. And kind of wrapping it up with 3 reasons why you should be using Kintone. It's really, really fast, easy to build databases. That's not what your passion is. So you get to focus on your application, your game, what you're passionate about. Let the boring task of managing data be on Kintone. Effortlessly manage it, and you don't need to necessarily code right from the beginning with intuitive GUI. This is great for, I'm sure many team members have a mix of technical abilities, so everyone can contribute with Kintone. And we have professional Kintone mentors. Myself and Yoke is another mentor who will be joining later on today and tomorrow. And we'll be here to answer any questions with regards to your customization, any documentations you need, or if you have any trouble registering and signing up for Kintone. Yes, here's Yoke. He's a fantastic sales engineer at the Kintone US office. I am Genji from Developer Advocate team, along with Will, and we're from Japan. And here are the office hours that we'll be joining in over Zoom. And yes, feel free to ask any questions. We'll be checking on Slack, and please join the Zoom calls. We will provide a Kintone API prize. So we'll be giving out a backpack, water bottle, and pop socket to each member of the winning team that best demonstrates the use case for a Kintone API. Signing up is pretty easy. You'll be, step 1, sign up for a developer account at bit.ly/KDP_signup. Be creating an account on the website with all of our API documentation and customization information. And then the second step will be creating a Kintone subdomain. This is only needed 1 per team, but of course, for anybody interested, please make one. One note: subdomains can only contain lowercase letters and numbers and hyphens, no other special characters. And we have a couple great resources. We have a YouTube channel with videos using Kintone customization with React. We have a dev forum with Q&A style content. And we have a get started guide on our front page. Thank you for listening. Good luck with the hackathon. And I'll pass it on to you. I'll stop the share right now.
Thank you, Genji. That was awesome. So you've got Genji here and a bunch of people who can help you go through your hacking journey in the next couple of days. We've got a whole host of mentors available on Slack for you, and we will host our office hours on Zoom. So first we have Delson. Delson's a longtime organizer of the NASA Hackathon. He was also a 2-time winner of the Boston event. He's an engineer and entrepreneur, and runs Capsule Corp and Alta Potentia. Igor also has been our organizer of the Boston Hackathon for a while. You will enjoy some of his and his wife's music later this evening at 8 p.m. Igor has a background in electrical engineering. He's an electrical engineer for test and measurement. We also have David Saylor, who has been a developer for 15 years in Japan and the United States, and is currently at Beyond Lucid Technologies and is part of the MIT class of 2004. So you've got David here for your software questions as well. Last but not the least, you have me, Harish. I am a technology entrepreneur. and have domain experience in software and electronics, more broad based. So whatever questions you have, you can shoot them my way as well. If not me, my son here will answer them for you. Along with the mentors, we would just not have been able to get this programming out here for you without our amazing organizers and Binnovative staff. So first, of course, we have our fearless leader, Eriko, who also happens to be my wife. She is the lead organizer of ISAC Boston and the liaison to all the global organizing committee that brings this event all over the world for us, and she will be here to answer pretty much everything related to the hackathon. We have Gerald. Gerald also has been a long time Boston organizer. He's been a past attendee and a winner as well, and he will be doing. He has been responsible for a whole bunch of things here at the hackathon. You've got me, of course. You've got Jun Suzuki, who is also our organizer. He's been a past judge, and he is a computer scientist by training. You have Igor, of course, that you heard of before. Igor's wife, Hiroko, who has been our organizer for a long time and a great singer and a great musician. You will hear Igor and Hiroko later this evening. You just heard about Delson. Yuki. Yuki is our logistician, if you will, and the silent hand behind a lot of stuff that happens at the hackathon, including marketing. So if you're here at the hackathon, chances are you've heard as a result of Yuki's efforts here. And last but not the least, we have Misaki, who is a high school student and is volunteering at Binnovative, and she's been helping Yuki with marketing and has done an amazing job so far. So with that being said, I'd like to just go over some details on some of the details of the hackathon itself and what you should be looking out for if I can only get Zoom to behave properly. So two Slack channels that you should really know about: the ISAC 2021 Mentor Room. If you're not there, you should stop in and say hi. We will have our mentor hours at 1, 3, and 5 p.m. at 10 a.m. tomorrow again. For Kinton specific questions, you can contact Genji or any of the mentors at Kinton on the ISAC 2021 Kinton Questions channel. If you're looking for teammates, we have a team formation channel. We will, of course, give you time at the end of this event. We'll unmute everybody so you can come in and present, as I said before. But if after that you still need teammates, you can post either your idea, your project, or your skills on the team formation Slack channel. The general channel is for any questions for organizers. So if you're looking for any general questions about the hackathon itself, you're having trouble doing something generally, just put that up on the general channel, and all of us organizers will be there, and someone will pick it up and assist you. Once you've formed your teams, let us know, please, because we can then create your own team Slack channel so that you're there in it and we are also in there with you. So just as soon as you form your teams, let us know who your team members are on the general channel, and we can create your Slack team for you. There are a few important things about team formation that I'm also going to go over, so stay tuned. So this is your pathway to working on the project. You've registered. If you've not, you should register on ISAC Boston. That's the spaceappschallenge.org main website /BostonMA. So make sure you are registered on the ISAC Boston website. Make sure you're on Slack, and make sure that you are you've got access to the channels that I mentioned before. Let us know that when your team is formed, for sure, because we need to put you up on Slack. We also need to know that you're a team, your team name and things like that. So make sure you're telling us as soon as you form your teams. Make sure that once we create the Slack channel for you, for your individual team, that you're in there and you're able to communicate as a team. And then, of course, while you're working on the project, make sure you're talking to the mentors and organizers for different questions. All right. And again, if you have any questions about this or anything else, post your questions on the general channel in Slack. Timeline. So what are we here for today? We are in the middle of the actual 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. slot. at 10 a.m. you will, or before, if we can get that quickly, we will get you to pitch online and start forming teams. Again, if you've already formed teams, hack away. Nothing stops you. Then you have the mentor hours. Please take advantage of the office hours to ask any technical questions or any questions that you're stuck on while you're hacking. My advice to every participant is, if you have a question, please ask someone. Don't try to struggle or solve it by yourself. That's not the point of the hackathon. The point of the hackathon is for you to innovate and create something wonderful. At 8 p.m. we will have an amazing music performance. It was phenomenal last time, and we've got a sneak peek of it this time as well. It's going to be amazing. So make sure you're tuned in at 8 p.m. for our music performance. Also good to take a break once in a while, get up, stretch, all good things to do while you're hacking away, right? Once that's done, we will see you tomorrow. We will start the programming with mentor hours. We'll all be here on Zoom, but we'll also have a mentor hour at 10 a.m. for any last minute things you need before you put a nice little bow on your presentations and present. At 12 p.m. sharp, we'll stop hacking. So please make sure you're done by then, and also make sure that you're already registered. You've registered yourself on the main ISAC website, the main spaceappschallenge.org website. Make sure you formed your team and created your team page on that spaceappschallenge.org website, and you've submitted your presentation to the organizer. So there are three major things you need to achieve, along with, of course, your project, by 12 p.m. At 1 p.m. we will start the presentations and judging. I'll introduce the judges shortly. And at 3:30 we will wrap up with the announcements of the winners. Remember, when we say winners, this is a collaborative hackathon, and we emphasize collaboration over competition. So the aspect of winning is really the fact that you have created something amazing and that you've actually presented it at the 1 p.m. session. All right. 8 p.m. So we will have our live music performance by our phenomenal transcontinental duo, with Igor on the guitar and Hiroko on the flute. We will meet on Zoom, and it'll also be live streamed on YouTube. The program is called Tose de Coco, Odeon, Lamentos, and more. Lots to come there, and you will have a lot of fun. So one thing I always like to emphasize as part of this event is that whatever you do, your submissions for this hackathon have to be under the open source license. If you don't know what that means, there is a document out there. You can just Google what open source means, which means essentially that whatever your product, whatever you have created, needs to be available freely to the world, and essentially for people to use. That's what it means by open source. So, which means if it's proprietary, if it's something that you're doing for your own company or something of that sort, that's not considered a valid submission, because the aim here is to help NASA and help the world do better. So make sure that you know this. So once you're done, in order for you to, if you cross the finish line, if you successfully submit your presentation and present it at 1 p.m., we will give you a Boston and Binnovative, an ISAC Boston and Binnovative original swag. We've got something nice for you. We will ship it to your home, as long as you live within the conterminous United States. We might consider you if you're in Alaska or Hawaii as well. But if you're not in the United States, we'll have to figure out how to get you there, but we won't. Unless
if you refresh, you get something new.
I can't. So we'll find a way to ship that for you. And of course, the first and second prize team winners will get a prize from the Boston ISAC programming as well. So again, as I said, I don't want these are small token prizes, because we want to make sure, again, you're focused on collaboration. The aim, NASA really emphasizes this, us as ISAC Boston organized really emphasize this. Winning means you've successfully presented something at 1 p.m. We really want to make sure that we emphasize that. It's all about collaboration. We've seen many instances over the past years where team members have helped each other, different teams have helped each other, jumped over, tried to solve a problem if the mentors have directed somebody to another team because they've solved the problem better than the mentors can explain it, that's helped as well. So collaboration is key in this hackathon. Finally, you also, as Genji had mentioned, you will also get you can also compete for a best use of Kintone API, prized by Kintone, and that requires you to use Kintone as a product in your hackathon, and the judging will be done by the Kintone team. Hackathon rules. So I'm going to hand this over to our team members here to talk about the hackathon rules themselves.
I think that means me. Hi everyone, I'm Gerald. I'm helping to organize this year. As previously mentioned, I've been a participant a few times, and this is, I think, my 4th year being involved with the hackathon. Just want to go over a couple of rules and logistics things to help you guys get your projects submitted to the right places, get your team set up, all of that sort of thing. Let's go on to the next. So this year's NASA ISAC theme is the power of 10. There's a number of fantastic challenges that are available on the website. I encourage you to check them out and choose the one that interests you most. It's worth noting that if you know, there are a lot of challenges this year, so I believe that you will be able to find one that fits your interests and the exact challenges that you want to pursue. But in the event that that's not the case, you may invent your own challenge. That's always an option here at the International Space Ops Challenge, but it is worth noting that if you want to be considered for global judging on after the local event is concluded, then you will need to select one of these other categories for these other challenges for your project. Next slide, please. In order to make your project the best that it can be, both Binnovative and NASA encourage you to make ample use of someone is echoing, sorry. To make liberal use of NASA's open data, there's several links that you can access different data sets for things like weather information, you know, all sorts of things that you can use to make the best project that you can. Next slide, please. So the first step today in getting your project submitted is to register for NASA ISAC on the Space Apps Challenge website. This will be required for your submission. Ultimately, you know, if you're a winner and you want to submit your project for global judging, this will be necessary, but we need everyone to make sure, once you've formed your teams, to have someone on your team register your project, and to have everybody else who is participating on that project register as a participant on that project. And we'll talk a little bit about how to do that later on. So team formation, there's a lot of text here, but ultimately all of this information is going to be available to you guys after this presentation. But as I briefly alluded to before, the idea is that one participant from each team is going to need to go to the Space Apps Challenge website and create the team. Once that happens, everyone else can register. Everyone else who has registered as a participant in the Boston location for the Space Apps Challenge this year will be able to either register as a member of that team or of their own team. If you do not have a team, you can request to join one of these teams, but one of the teams that have already posted their project on the Space Apps Challenge website, although I encourage you to reach out to them first on Slack and see if you can organize something there. We recommend that teams are comprised of 4 to 5 members with a diverse set of skills if possible. You certainly can come up with fantastic solutions with smaller or larger teams, but we found in general that 4 to 5 tends to be about the sweet spot for maximum productivity and maximum collaborative effort. The maximum team size is 6, just for logistical reasons. But of course, if you have more participants, you could certainly work on it, but you're only able to register 6 members to a team. All of this information and more can be found on the spaceappschallenge.org website at the link that you can see on your screen right now. There's a FAQ there, all sorts of information and logistical information to help you get started. Once you're done your project tomorrow, the deadline for this will be at noon tomorrow. You'll need to have your project registered on the spaceappschallenge.org website, and then in order to participate in the local judging, we're going to need you to submit to us a presentation, a short presentation. You'll only have a few minutes to present it, so make sure that it is concise and contains only enough and contains all of the information to give us all an idea of what your project is about. We'll also need a short summary write-up that will describe in somewhat more detail the fundamental ideas of your project. The final step is to submit this project. You'll have upload links for submitting to the spaceappschallenge.org website for global judging. And there is a project submission guide, a big PDF that you'll have access to that gives you information on how to do all of this. We also recommend that you, we're going to also need you to submit all of your code that you're using for this project, preferably in something like a GitHub link, and an important reminder that all of this is going to need to be available to all under an open source license. At 1 p.m. tomorrow, presentations will be done for the local event on Zoom. We're going to inform you guys once you have all of your projects submitted. We'll come up with an order for you guys to present them in, and we'll ask you to either screen share your own presentation, or we'll screen share it for you. And you'll have a few minutes to give us all of the good details on your project and the good things that you come up with. And again, all of this timeline information, the Zoom links, all of that will be available on Slack and on the calendar. This year's judging, we have several wonderful judges, many of whom are returning from previous years. Professor Chris Carr is a returning judge. He's been working with us for several years. Is a professor at the Georgia Institute of Technology. Professor Brandon Allen is a staff astronomer at the Harvard College Observatory, also a returning judge. Always wonderful to have these guys helping us out. Dr. Masami Onoda has been introduced as well already. She's the director of the JAXA office in Washington, D.C. She'll be participating in judging this year as well. And finally, Sonia Huang will be our final judge, who is a technologist at ZIS Health and a co-founder of the director of data, co-founder and director of data analytics. Next slide, please. Local judging criteria. You're going to be judged on several different categories of how well your project addresses the problems that are or the challenges that have been presented on the NASA ISAC website. The first of these is impact. How much impact can this project have? Does it solve a big problem or a little problem? So basically how much of an effect will your solution have on the problem that you've chosen. The second thing you'll be judged on is creativity. How creative or innovative is the approach? Thinking outside of the box gets you a lot of bonus points because we're interested in seeing innovative and new ideas here, and we're very excited to see what you guys come up with. Validity, is the solution scientifically valid? Obviously, your solution has to actually accomplish what it sets out to do or provide a framework for doing so. And ultimately, we would like to be able to see these projects function on their own in the real world. So, theoretical analysis is great, but ultimately, we're interested in tackling practical challenges here. Relevance. Relevance is we need you to actually tackle the challenge that you've chosen to be submitted. It needs to be complete and technically feasible. And ultimately, people are going to want to build on your projects and finalize them into practical, applicable solutions to the problems that you've chosen. And finally, we are going to be judged on your presentation, right? You can have the best project, best solution in the world. If you can't communicate it well, then it's going to be hard for people to build on that and to make it into something that we all can use. So the storytelling aspect, the presentation, the communication aspects of the project are not to be underestimated. You only have a short amount of time, but it's important to do a good job in communicating all that information. We are going to have an award. We do each year have an award for the best use of the Kintone API. I think we will have some member of the Kintone staff to tell you guys a little bit more about that. Is that correct?
Yeah, just a quick note. Ioke is a coworker, and he will be he's a Kinto mentor, and he will be asking questions and determining the prize winner for tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Next slide, please. So each year we sort of like to give some suggestions on the best way to present your project. We have a process for designing a good presentation, a good and short presentation, which is called the 240 Seconds of Glory. You start by spend your first 45 seconds or so grabbing the attention of your audience in order to prove the authenticity of your approach. You spend a few seconds creating empathy for the problem, which provides an emotional connection to the audience to your problem. At that point, you want to provide your big idea. This is where your idea, your solution comes in, and you show how that big idea addresses the problem that you've just presented. And finally, you want to quickly wrap up by establishing your impact, explaining what exactly it is you need in order to make this project succeed, what the future steps will be, and so on. Next slide, please. Eligibility for attendee awards. We've briefly mentioned this before, but of course you are required to submit a project to the Space Apps Challenge this year in order to be considered for an award. Your name needs to be listed on the project, which is submitted by noon tomorrow. all of your your documents in order have to be in order for us as well, including all of your submissions to us for local judging and presentation. You need to present tomorrow, and also you need to have your shipping address in the conterminous U.S. and you have to fill out a survey that will all be provided with tomorrow. You must satisfy all of these above, and then you will be eligible for the awards that will be shipping to you. Global judging, if you are selected for as a winner of our local judging, you'll be judged globally as well, or you'll have the opportunity to submit your project for global judging. Just as project submissions will be due on the website, on the Space Apps Challenge website, by October 3rd at 11:59. After local judging is done, universal event judging will happen in the middle of October, in several steps before the global winners will be announced later on in the year. Next slide, please. Space Apps winners will be featured on the Space Apps website and social media. And one exciting result of being a winner of the Space Apps Challenge is that you'll be invited, if travel is deemed safe, to visit a NASA site and to view a spacecraft launch. Each member of the winning team and one guest each will be invited, but you will be responsible for covering your own costs and personal travel, all of that. But to me, this is one of the most exciting outcomes to come from the Space Apps Challenge. Next slide, please. And that's about all that we have for you here. We wish you all good luck, and we encourage you all to be connected. There's going to be lots of ways for you to be connected through Slack and through our social media, our streams, all of that. Start off by forming your team, getting that team registered, and then start hacking. We're excited to see what you guys come up with. At this time, we're going to help to facilitate that team formation by opening up the floor here to anyone who wants to pitch an idea. We ask that you keep it brief and present your idea quickly, and then continue any further discussion through our Slack channels. Thank you for your attention, and I'll turn it over to Harish.
Thank you, Gerald. So remember, one quick thing before we get started, that we had mentioned somewhere that the Zoom link for tomorrow will be emailed, but it's not. All links, all information will be on the general channel in Slack. So it's imperative that you're on Slack. And if you're not, please.
No. The link is in the Google Calendar, which Gerald, they invited all you guys in a general channel in the Slack. So if anyone have trouble subscribing the Google Calendar, let us know. Basically, you should be seeing all Zoom links, include the mentor hours, today's music, the event, and also tomorrow's final presentation, all that. So if anyone has any problem subscribing Google Calendar, just post on the mentor channel.
All right, thank you, Eriko. So make sure that you're on Slack. That's the bottom line. And if you have any questions, you're struggling with anything, just post it there, and someone in the organizing team will help you out. All right. So with this, we will conclude the introduction part of the hackathon and open up the floor for people who want to either pitch their idea, or if you're looking to join a team, to pitch your skills. Good luck, and we'll see you soon.
So we will stay open like another 10 minutes or so. So if you are ready to hack, you can get out this meeting. Otherwise, if you want to, see new people, you're looking for a teammate, stick around and then start pitching to everyone in here. Otherwise, good luck.
Recording stopped.
I have a quick question. Can I ask?
Sure.
So by tomorrow noon, each team is supposed to submit the presentation slides and a few paragraph summary for local judging, right? And the link for the submission will be announced later on, or someone said it's actually on the Google Calendar? Will be okay. All right. So because I'm looking into it, but then I can't find the link. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Again, if you're ready to hack, if you have a team, you can get started. You don't need to be on this call. We're keeping this open for anyone who wants to come in and pitch their team or pitch their idea. But if you're set, go on.
Don't leave the timeline.